Good day, Dr. Melinda and classmates. It's Maria. Will new media platforms, namely internet radio, ebooks, and social media, have a role in development communication in the Philippines? And my answer to that is a big yes. In fact, I don't think it's a question of will, meaning a future reality, because I believe from what I've researched that it's already happening. These new media platforms are already being used for development communication here in the Philippines. Case in point will be internet radio. So, Radio Pilipinas, according to their official Facebook page and radio.org.ph, it's the flagship government AM radio station that is owned and operated by the Presidential Broadcast Service. They've been around for 75 years, according to their website. And what's interesting is we could listen to their episodes through different platforms. We can listen to it through their website. We can listen to it through Radio Garden, and also through radio.org.ph. And their content, Radio Pilipinas content, it's a mix of news, talk shows, entertainment, and information. Every Friday, though, they have a show called Tunog ng Progreso, which is under the National Economic Development Authority. And the goal of this program is to teach economics to Filipinos for the purpose of helping us better understand our government programs and policies. So I think that's really interesting and useful. And so, yeah, they air every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. They also have a sketch showing how these economic concepts are applied to an ordinary Filipino's everyday life. That's the Echo and Mia radio sketch. Now, the last internet radio I'll cover is Kodao Radio under Kodao Productions. So, Kodao Productions, it's an award-winning multimedia production agency that documents events that affect our Filipinos search for identity and democracy and all these values. And if this is screenshots from their website, you will see most of these are agricultural focused actually, and some of these episodes are also available through Comdev Asia, which is another organization, another initiative that supports and promotes communication development, development communication in the Asia Pacific region. Now we go to ebooks. Okay, so let's first learn more about the industry of ebooks. According to Mordor Intelligence, for 2024, the ebook industry is pegged at $17.20 billion in terms of market size. But 5 years later, it's projected to grow to 21.73 billion US dollars. Interestingly, what their fastest growing market is the Asia Pacific region, of which, the Philippines belongs to. And if we're asking ourselves what is driving this growth of ebooks, we could see that digital education, distance learning, online education, immersive learning systems are these two growth drivers for this market. And personally, for me, I think that as long as UPLB's College of Development Communication and UPOU's Master of Development Communication programs exist, I'd argue that development communication ebooks and journals and all these scholarly articles will continue to proliferate because there's a need for these educational materials. And so these are just some screenshots of DevCom ebooks I found. For those of us who took DEVC 202 and 206 this sem, the books to the left should be familiar. And the books to the right, these are available from Amazon UK to Google Books. Two of these books are actually available in our UPOU library. So that's the Mindful Communication for Sustainable Development and Media Communication and Development, the foreword of which was written by Miss Nora C. Cabral herself. Now we go to social media. So for me, from what I've read, it seems to me that social media and development communication are a perfect match for each other. In this article published in Business World Online, written by Bronte Laksamana, he quotes these different industry leaders who are recognizing the shift in Filipinos' information, education, and entertainment consumption habits from television to social media and content streaming platforms or content sharing platforms. So, according to the Google Philippines country director, Filipinos are now watching their TV shows online, not anymore through the TV. And the content that we're watching, it's very diverse, but I would argue that they're all development focused. They're all for additional information, additional, learning, personal growth, even personal financial growth in the case of how to scale a karinderya into a nationwide business or studying topics like finance. So but that's how we Filipinos, like, and as individuals, use these platforms. What about government? So this is a policy. I encountered a policy research paper by Clarissa David, wherein she studied the three departments: Department of Health, Department of Education, and the Home Mutual Development Fund's use of Facebook and Twitter. And she said there that these government agencies can use social media to interact with transparency with their constituents, and that's important. By showing the public what they're actually doing regularly or daily, then these public will know that they're not lazing around, they're actually working. And by promoting their work, these agencies can help the public know and better understand their services, which ultimately leads to improved service delivery and increased trust of the public in them. And considering that social media is a two-way and community-based and network building platform, according to her, these frontline service agencies, which she covered in her policy research paper, are in a position to reap a lot of benefits. In the context of sustainability, there is a paper that I encountered. So it's the title of the paper is "The Contribution of Social Media as a Strategy in Promoting a Sustainable Development for a Balanced Ecosystem in the Bangsamoro Area, Philippines." So the author is I believe a Filipino from the University of Mindanao, but this was published in the Indonesian Journal of Business Analytics. And according to him, I'm not going to read everything because it's quite long, but according to him, yes, social media had a huge contribution in promoting sustainable development in the Bangsamoro area of the Philippines. He actually ended this paper by recommending that the BARMM leaders to adopt social media in their campaign for sustainability. So I will end my presentation by going back to the six attributes of development communication, which we learned in the first week of classes. And I would argue that these new media platforms, internet radio, ebooks, and social media, they actually possess themselves, some of these attributes. For me, they're pragmatic, they're scientific also, they're mass oriented, and they're relevant. Simply because a lot of Filipinos are already using them. And from what I've learned from our courses this semester and my experience in social development and sustainability, I've learned that we need to go where the people are and communicate to them through their channels of choice if we want to effectively and quickly create the change we want. And so this is why I believe these new media platforms will continue playing a role in development communication here in the Philippines. Thank you all for watching. I'll share my sources in my post.